Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Minecraft video with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this Minecraft video, we are going to be modifying dark oak trees. Now, in the event that you are like me and you simply cannot design a custom Minecraft tree, or you cannot come up with a design that you are rather happy with, then hopefully this video will help you out. So we're going to start by taking our dark oak saplings and we're going to place them down. Then we're going to do some bone meal action. And I generally, when I modify my dark oak trees, I like to go with the short trees, not the rather tall ones. So we're actually going to just ignore that tree right there. Let's go ahead and test our luck with the second one. Okay, so what we can do with this one is we're going to fly all the way up to the very top, and we're going to find the center point of this layer right here, this 2, 1, 2. So let's just go ahead and, for the sake of it, let's go ahead and grab a diorite block so we can try and pinpoint exactly where the middle is at. And it appears the middle section would be right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to, one by one, remove the outside layers, starting with these 2 by 1 sections, and then I'm going to remove the corner pieces like this. So then we just have this going on, and then I'm going to repeat the exact same thing going all the way down on this block layer right here. So let's just go ahead, fly around and remove the outside layer. And if you have anything like this where you have another layer right beneath this, the layer you're working on, just feel free to remove that as well, if that makes any sense to you guys. Hopefully you guys are able to visually understand what it is I'm trying to say, as opposed to me just verbally saying it to you. So now that we have a box shape going on, we're going to go ahead and just remove the corner pieces, starting with the edge, and then work our way in a 1 by 1 manner. And let's just finish it up over here as well. Okay, so now your dark oak tree should look something like this if you're following along. Now, I would like to state that if you come across a short to medium size tree like this one right here, the final product will look fairly similar to one another. Whereas if you just flat out go with one of the tall dark oak trees like this, it may look a little odd, which is why I like to work with the short to medium size trees. So I think at this point now we're gonna leave it as it is. So let's remove this block right here, and let's just take a step back. Let's fly around, see if we're happy. A part of me would like to actually, no. Okay, I was about to say a part of me wanted to remove this right here to fly around, so then we had a complete, just go ahead and replace that, has something like this, but then that would look rather stubby, if that makes any sense. It wouldn't look right. So I'm going to leave this as it is. Now, we have our 2 by 2 base. Let's just go ahead and toggle the downfall. So we have our 2 by 2 base, and right here we have, is there another dark oak log above it? Yes, there is. Okay, and is there one above that? No. Okay, let's just go ahead and put those back. So we have this 1 by 1 by 3 dark oak pillar like thing going on, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin to place dark oak leaves going down like that, only on the outside face, the one that is exposed to the world, so to speak. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other faces that are exposed, for the logs that we have. And as you guys may note that, for example, right here, instead of just placing 1, 2, 3, I placed 4 leaf blocks, and that is so we could have some depth added to it, added to the leaves, and then later on in this video you guys will see what I'm referring to. let's just go ahead and bring it down like this. There we go. And so now that we have all the faces of the logs pretty much covered up, I'm just going to leave it as that. Yeah. Because this is going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Actually, is that the same level? Yes, it is. I'll leave it as it is for now. We may go back and retouch that. Oh, I forgot to cover this up as well. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll just leave that as it is for now. So now that we've covered up all the faces of the logs, what we're now going to do is we're going to fill in each side, but we're going to try to do so where it looks natural in a sense where it looks like it's a tree from in real life, so to speak, not a blocky tree that was naturally generated in Minecraft, so to speak. We're going to try and give this some shape now, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Okay. And right here in this corner, let's just do something like that, okay? And for this side, we're going to bring this all the way down through here. That looks fine, although this 2x1 open block space is really starting to bother me. The trick here, though, is I would like to point this out right here and now, is that you want to make sure going out from the base of the tree, you only go 1, 2 blocks in total. If you go 3 blocks out when you're placing your leaves all around, it's going to look too round. It's going to look too puffy. And to me, at least, that's where the modifying process will go wrong. And it can be a little over detailed. So let's just go ahead and do something like that. And one thing I like to do is before I begin to move on to another side of the tree, I like to just fly by from different angles to see if I'm really happy and content with how it looks. So for this side, I think we'll call this a job well done. And now let's move on to this side here. I do my best to not let the leaf blocks come down to the same level, as you guys can tell. We have this on this layer right here. We have it coming down to here. Then we have another leaf placement going down to this block space, which is 1 up from this. And then same thing going on here. Going back when we apply our depth, we have this right here to fill in the block space so it's not empty. Trying to think. This is I would also like to emphasize that this is truly a this is one of those beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so to speak, where this will vary from person to person. I could, when I'm finished with this, look at it and be overall happy with it, but someone who may be watching this video may look at it and go, wow, Vanillaraccoon, that's one of the most ugliest looking trees I've ever seen. And you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not saying you're right, but I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just, if you're going to do this method of modifying a dark oak tree, just remember, what looks good to you may not look good to someone else. So overall, I think I'm going to call it quits for this particular tree. As I continue to fly around and look at it, I'm really happy. Now, I just want to go ahead and place this right here and see how that looks. Yeah, that looks like it's too much right there. Whereas if we just have something like this and you're walking by it, I like it. So let's go ahead and try one more tree. Let's go ahead and modify one more dark oak tree. Hopefully we get a short one. Okay, so I'm actually glad that we have this particular tree because, as you guys can tell, the canopy that are the leaves are not completely over the base of the tree. The tree is growing upwards, but it's growing out to an angle. And this, if you're wishing to cut to modify one of these dark oak trees, then here we go. So we're going to go ahead and repeat the process. We're just going to go and remove these 2x1 layers, and then we're going to fly down, and we're going to do the exact same thing, and we're going to leave that exposed for now. We're going to come back to that once we begin to fill in the spaces. And let's go ahead and bam, bam, bam. Okay, so we should have this pyramid-like look to it. And now let's go ahead and simply remove the edges of the first layer. Yeah, and then we're going to remove the edges and the corner pieces of the second layer. That way we have somewhat of a round shape from an aerial view or a bird's eye view. So then we want to have something like this overall. And this is going to be a little tricky because, like I said, the tree is growing upwards, but near the top it's growing at an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk around and then fly around, and I'm just gonna get a look at where exactly the tree is growing at, where it begins to curve, and then I'm going to begin to shave some of these logs off. And I think for the most part I'm going to shave that much off right there. And what I'm going to do, what I am going to do then is just do something like this, where I'm going to start to bring it out. Let's just go ahead and remove that. Yeah, there's a dark oak log above that. And we're just going to shift the curving point of this tree so that it looks a little more natural, so to speak. And I think for the most part, I'm very content with how that looks. Let's just go ahead and remove that one dark oak log. Okay, so now that we've altered the look of the logs and the placement of the logs, we're going to now begin to cover up the exposed faces of the logs. I want to bring this down by 3, and then that way we can do a 2 action or even a 3 action. Yeah, and then 2 action right there, so we have a nice open space. And then that's the base of it, so we're going to leave it as it is right there. We're going to bring this down by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with leaves. And now we're just going to begin to fill in the sides. And for this I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 1. I just make sure that this goes out by 2 and not 3. 1, 2, excelente. And then we're going to begin to do this. Yeah, let's try something like that. That looks like it's too much, so we're going to remove those leaf blocks right there. And then we're going to bring this down, bring this down, bring this down. And let's just continue to fly around. And now for this side. Okay. Let's just do something like that. And then do something like this. And I guess this could have a weeping willow look to it. Can we place one right there and get away with it? Let's just see how this looks. I guess what we can do is bring this out like that. I'm trying to think exactly how I want this part to look like. Alright, let's bring it down like that. Bring it down like that. Bring it down like that. This. I don't know. This looks way too... This looks like it's becoming too much on this side, and I don't want that to happen. See, the reason why I wanted to tackle this one is because the whole it growing upwards and then curving near the top is where it can be a little tricky when you're modifying a dark oak tree. So let's just now begin to, let's remove that, and then we're gonna do something like this, and let's just remove 2 blocks like that, do something like this, and then, okay, I think I know what we can do here. We can do something like that. Do something like this. Fill that in right there. No, that's gonna be way too much. Okay, so no. Alright, that looks fine as it is. Let's just go ahead and remove that because that's a little ugly patch right there. And let's see how this looks if we just remove that. So overall, I really don't want to do too much work on this because once you really begin to put your mind into it and you really begin to look at a tree in this case and see how you can change it up, that's when you can then be, that's when you will begin to overdo it, overthink, overanalyze it, and at that point it's not going to look pretty. And we want to create art. We want to create something beautiful. So I think that's really going to do it for this curved tree. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. This is something that I have been planning to do for quite some time because in my single player world where I do my Let's Play series, World of Raccoons I've been doing a lot of this off camera. And before I showed you guys in the next Let's Play video what I've been doing, I at least wanted to give you guys a hint, and also for those who may just stumble across this video, then at least be able to show you guys one way you can have a pretty nice looking tree in Minecraft without customizing it, without coming up with your own custom tree design or attempting to and then getting upset. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, and if you like what you see, then please give that like button a hug and subscribe for the latest buzz. And if you had a blast with a good laugh, then make sure you favorite this video and share it with a friend or two. But until next time, peeps, this is Vanillaraccoon. Peace out.